Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this live stream. My name is Hassam Mohsin, and I'm the Microsoft Reactor lead for the Reactor in the Middle East and Africa. And in the Microsoft Reactors, we're hubs for founders and developers to meet, learn, and connect with the local peers and also with the industry experts and the open source community and learn about all what's happening in tech and how to implement all these cool features into their projects. And during these sessions, we have been streaming from across different parts of the region and bringing you all diverse topics about data science, machine learning, AI, and etc. And on today's session, we are excited to kick off a series, actually, which Aisha will be telling us more about. Aisha, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Hussam. Thanks for hosting us. This is very exciting. It's our very first session. Okay, so I'll take over and start talking about the 30 Days of Microsoft Graph Challenge. Thanks, Hussam, for having us in the reactors. So hi, everyone. Welcome to 30 Days of Microsoft Graph. My name is Aicha. I'm a cloud advocate at Microsoft. I will talk more about myself in the upcoming slides, but first I want to thank you all for participating in our very first session in 30 Days of Microsoft Graph. Today we are kicking off the 30 Days of Microsoft Graph Challenge. We will talk about what are the registration page, what are the learning materials, and how we can reach out all the learning resources and get in touch with us through GitHub, through live sessions. Before we jump into that, I want to go through the agenda with you and show you what we're going to cover in this reactor session. So first off, we will introduce ourselves because we've been putting a lot of effort in the 30 Days of Microsoft Graph Challenge. I want to introduce you our team, and we will be joining you throughout November during this challenge. So you will get to know us a little better, and of course, we would like to get to know you a bit more about your interests, what are the skills you're interested in, also when you're having trouble finding resources, or maybe when you're developing, when you have bugs and stuff, we will be there to help you. And after introducing ourselves briefly, Jaflet and Samolese, my colleagues, will walk you through the challenge overview, the pages you need to know, also where you can get in the challenge, how you can register, all the important pages, tips and tricks they will share. And afterwards, we will share with you the learning materials of week 1. We are in week 1, and you will kickstart of learning with a full source of learning materials. It's not just learning. There are a lot of fun stuff too. Just keep on waiting until we tell you all about the challenge. And afterwards, we will introduce you to my colleague, my dear colleague, Rabeb. She is the PM for Microsoft Graph team. She is joining us to introduce you what is Microsoft Graph, how to get started with Graph, and then she will show you what are the resources or maybe the first step that you need to go through and understand when it comes to Microsoft Graph as a concept. And then we will close out this session and leave you with an exciting learning materials. So let's start with getting to know me first, and then you will get to know my colleagues. My name is Aicha Bash. I'm a cloud advocate at Microsoft, specifically focusing on Microsoft 365 development, including Microsoft Graph and Teams. I work with Azure technologies really heavily, more than 7 years now, and I've been building bots, web apps, and I've used all sort of cognitive services and functions, serverless, logic apps, and I also have a little bit of interest for the Power Platform in general. I'm based in Dubai, and I love building end-to-end solutions, including more than one technology. I like discovering new technologies as well. If you'd like to connect with me more, you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I also want to highlight that I am a student ambassador alumni. I was in the program 10 years ago, and today all of the speakers are actually alumni Microsoft student ambassador, and you will get to know them a little more throughout the session. So I want to introduce my colleague Jaflet, who was the partner in crime for this 30 days for me. And he will be introducing himself as well. He's also an alumni for Student Ambassadors Program. Hi, Jaflet.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here with you all. Finally, this is coming to life. Thank you very much, Aisha and Sumelezi, and every other person behind the scene who works to make this 30 Days of Microsoft Graph initiative come to life. I'm Jaflet, and I am a cloud advocate with the Next Generation Experiences team at Microsoft. I am based in Abuja, Nigeria, and I love talking about Microsoft's Power Platform, Microsoft Azure, and in entirety Microsoft technologies. But aside talking about these technologies, I also love building solutions with this technology. And interestingly, like Aisha and Somalizi and also Rabib, I was a Microsoft Lens Student Ambassador and left the program in April 2022 actually, and joined Microsoft in May 2022. If you'd like to learn more about me, you can check out on Twitter at Jafletwamu or LinkedIn. Sumalizi is here, so over to you, Sumalizi.
Awesome, Jaflet. Just like you said, finally, we start the month of Microsoft Graph. Hi, everyone. My name is Someleza Digo, and I am a cloud advocate at Microsoft, currently focusing on the Power Platform. Most of you have seen me just shouting at you on Twitter, talking about the Power Platform. But today, just like Jaflet said, finally, we are looking at Microsoft Graph, and I'm so excited to see what you guys are going to be building with out of this program. And what I can say is you are definitely not missing out if you are part of this program because it's so exciting. So I am based out of South Africa, and I love building solutions using the Power Platform, Teams as well, and also Microsoft Azure. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, you can connect with me through Twitter, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And most of the time, even on this program itself, I'll be asking you to do your own homework where you are going to be tagging me, Aisha, on Twitter, on LinkedIn to just showcase what you guys are building and just showcase your journey, because this is such a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful program for you guys that we have in store. So without further ado, we need to just get right over to it and see what we have in store today. So we're going to give you a small rundown of what to expect and what is the 30 days of Microsoft Graph Challenge actually. Right. So within a program, you will be looking at a specific roadmap. And I like the mere fact that we actually have all these amazing people that are going to be part of this journey with you. Well, on week one, like you see us today, we are talking about the challenge begins. And then on week two, you'll be building a little bit of apps and calling the API itself. As you can see on the roadmap, you have different stages that are part of this specific Microsoft Graph challenge. Okay, enough talking about what the roadmap looks like, but I just want to see and understand, what do we actually have in store? What are the different steps that everyone that is part of this Microsoft Graph challenge or who wants to be part of it can actually do? Jefflet, would you mind to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I would definitely love to. So, first, everyone would need to register for the challenge. But how do you register for the challenge? aka.ms slash 30 days of ms graph slash register is the link to register and be part of this challenge. What does it look like? I'm going to share my screen now and show you how it looks like. So what exactly you are going to see when you head over aka.ms slash 30 days of MS Graph slash register. And immediately you do that, it takes you to this page where you have the opportunity to participate in what we call a cloud skills challenge. So you're not just coming here to learn and learn and learn, you're coming here to have fun with others. And there will be prizes for the top 10 people who complete this challenge. Don't worry, we'll tell you all more about this. Currently, there are 296 persons who are participating in this challenge. So if you haven't, you probably might be missing out. So get over to that link and register for the challenge. Next up, yeah, so Belize, would you like to tell us what next we're going to do?
Yeah, so the next step is actually on step 2, where you have to complete the program requisites. Obviously, with those specific requisites, you actually have to firstly set up a Microsoft 365 developer account so that you can be able to build all these amazing things that we're going to build throughout this entire program. The second step is to actually activate a GitHub student developer account. So if you're a student, this is for you. You will find all the benefits that a student would have. And also on the last part, you can activate Azure for Student credit, going to the links that are provided to you. And then, right, obviously with those prerequisites, we are actually going to be going through with you on this journey where you are building stuff using the Microsoft 365 developer account and obviously deploying stuff on Azure. Hopefully, I am not being too optimistic about it. I just want to see what you guys actually have in store for us and what you guys are going to be getting out of this program. And next up, Jefflet, do you mind talking a little bit more of what we have next up and what we actually have within this Microsoft Graph Challenge?
Yes, I would love to. So just before we head over to the next thing we'll have in store, I'd like to talk about the onboarding blog we have created. So Melissa mentioned the 3 things you would probably need to create, but hey, we understand you could probably forget these things. So we have created an onboarding blog. My screen again, I would show you what it looks like. So I would head over to aka.ms/30 days of MS Graph again /onboarding. And this will take you here where we have brought together a blog that summarizes every single thing you would need throughout the entire period of 30 days of Microsoft Graph. So starting off with the prerequisites, which Sobelizi just mentioned, registering for the challenge, which is of key priority, signing up for your Microsoft 365 developer account, and if you are a student, activating your GitHub Student Developer Pack, which gives you access to tons of amazing Microsoft resources, as well as Azure for Students, which gives you access to Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Cloud Computing Platform. And then you have access to every other thing that would help you throughout the entire period of the 30 days of Microsoft Graph training. First, you have access to the landing page, which we will be talking a little bit more about in the next slide. And then you have access to also be part of GitHub discussions, which I would also be showing you what it looks like. So hey, just in case you forget these necessary requirements, you can head over to the onboarding blog and access them at any point in time. Back to you, Sobelizi.
Wow, that's amazing, Jefflet. Actually, now, the last step of this entire process, you have to ask questions. Whenever you want to ask questions within the program itself, you need to reach out to the experts, people who actually understand what is Microsoft Graph or whatever technology that you're focusing on in that specific case. Within this program, we actually have GitHub discussions in which Jefflet will actually be showing you in a few minutes. And also, like Jefflet had mentioned earlier on, there's a learning page where you are able to access all of these resources all together in one place, and you will have access to the roadmap to itself. Right. So within this GitHub discussions, Jefflet has the magic to show you how to actually work around it. And I've been working alongside him for him to actually show me how I can submit my question whenever I need help on something. And if you guys have questions throughout the entire program, please do use GitHub discussions to actually ask for help from us. Jefflet, can you show us what this GitHub discussions looks like?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. I would love to. So first, I would show you what 30 Days of Microsoft Graph website looks like. So aka the /30 Days of Microsoft Graph. And this is the landing page. So if you need to access any of these live sessions and you don't have the links, you can always come over here to access them. So if, for example, I click on the link for November 1st, which is today, it takes me directly to the YouTube stream, which you all are currently on. So for next week, if I don't have the link, I can always come here and click this live session and it takes me directly to the YouTube live stream. Or I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to do for a specific day. We have everything properly written out for you all. So always come here and utilize this. But it's also important that you need to talk with us. You need to communicate with us. You have questions. If you notice under the onboarding resources at the top here, you have GitHub discussions. So I head over here and I click on GitHub discussions, and it would take me, sign me into GitHub and take me here. Notice this is the GitHub discussion page. Here, we want you all to do an introduction about yourself. I had the opportunity of starting off the introduction and then had Aisha and a few other persons doing theirs. So if you haven't done yours, be sure to come over here and do yours. We'd love to meet you. Where are you joining from? What are you excited about? What would you like to work on? Do you have any questions? Please be sure to come over here and do that. Remember, you can easily access it from the landing page at any point in time. Don't forget aka.ms/30 days of MS Craft. The next thing which I wanted to show you, which is also cool, is that we want you to give product feedback. So you're not just coming and learning. We also want to hear from you. Hey, what are the challenges you're facing? What are the recent problems you have come up with or you are currently undergoing and you need some help with? So I would head over. So here you would find product feedback. Yes, over here, product feedback. And I would come here, and just in case I'm having any difficulty, any issues, I can impute the product feedback using a custom template that has been designed for you. So when I head over to the custom template, I'll just click on it. And then I can impute every other thing, the details, the current problem I am facing, the technology I am working with, and also include a screenshot of the specific error message I had. You submit it and you have a chance to get reviewed by one of us. Pass it over to the product teams. They would love to definitely see it. Another part of discussion which I would like to show you is the ideas tab. So we also want you to build projects. We want you to come up with solutions. But, well, at some times you might be like, hey, what do I build? How do I get started? I don't know what to do. Don't worry, we've got you covered as always. We have the idea section where we have tons of Microsoft scenarios that you can utilize using Microsoft Graph. So don't beat your brains too much. You can come over here, pick one of these, and start building. Tons of them, we'll keep adding them. But if you have unique ones you probably feel like building, please be sure to also utilize it. There's one last part I wanted to show you. Let me quickly show you that. The show and tell section. You have built amazing projects, amazing applications utilizing Microsoft Graph, and you want to tell us all the beautiful things you've built. You can do so using the project submission for Microsoft Graph. Come over here, there is a custom template. All you need to do is impute the details, impute a screenshot of a video of what you have built or a link to the GitHub repository, and you are good to go. So, I mean, Somelezi, we've had a lot in store prepared for everyone who will be joining us for this challenge because we want life to be easy for everybody who is part of 30 days of Microsoft Graph.
Yeah, definitely, Jefflet. I'm sure people are wondering, whoa, so many links that Jefflet went to. don't worry too much about it because Jaflet actually just showed you just one main part of this entire program, which is the landing page for this specific 30 days of MS Graph. So you can access all of these links that Jaflet was going to, the GitHub discussions. You can click on that link, the onboarding blog post where you have all the resources for you to be able to onboard onto the specific challenge. You will find them there. So don't fret too much about seeing all of those links that we're just clicking on and we're just going to on screen. We just wanted to show you how everything actually works. So utilize that specific landing page as much as you can and keep track of what are we doing within the program itself. So I saw Jaflet talking about project ideas and the projects that are going to be submitted, and also those discussions for you to be able to submit your product feedback. But what stood out for me was actually the project ideas that are there. So you must be wondering, what is the point of you guys doing that specific project or submitting your project idea within the GitHub discussion? So, firstly, the first part is to see what you guys are building and have fun with Microsoft Graph. But there's a cherry on top where there are prizes to be won for the winners. So top 10 Cloud Skills Challenge winners will get a chance to record a YouTube short video for the Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel, which will be promoted on the Microsoft official social channels. I know when I was a student ambassador, all I wanted was to actually be part of the videos and the cool stuff that everyone else was building at Microsoft. And now we are bringing this opportunity to you guys. So whether you're a pro developer, whether you're a student, this is the opportunity for you to showcase your skills and to have a chance to record a YouTube short within that Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel. Then it doesn't stop there. We have top 4 winners or winning capstone projects who will get a mentorship session from the Microsoft 365 advocacy directors and Microsoft Graph product group directors. I'm pretty sure that Aisha actually has more info around that. And also another part of these prizes that are going to be won is that a chance will be presented to you to be interviewed on your show and tell video series for the Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel and be promoted on Microsoft official social channels. Why are we doing this project? Ideas and getting these projects from you guys is for you to be able to get the opportunity to win those cool prizes and get mentorship sessions. I am pretty sure when I was still a student and when I was still a student ambassador, I was always looking forward to getting those specific mentorship sessions. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you guys. Right. Aisha, do you want to add anything onto the prizes or should we just carry on?
Yeah, I just want to say that uh, we are not the only ones looking into GitHub discussions or joining these sessions. The entire Microsoft Graph product group is involved in this. And if you go to GitHub discussions, you will see that the product team, all of the PMs and content engineers and everyone introduced themselves already. So they are looking forward to getting to know you, getting your questions, seeing your projects. And also, if your project is really awesome and if you actually put an effort to build a project, we want to give you a mentorship so that we will get to know you a little better and we will share some advices for you and maybe we will introduce you to other directors as well. And I think it's a great opportunity being the dinosaur alumni of the Student Ambassador Program. I was also discovered in one of these challenges when I was a student 10 years ago. And I know that this is an awesome opportunity to showcase your own project on the Microsoft YouTube channels or getting to know the directors of Microsoft 101, which is really exciting. And don't forget to utilize all these channels that Somalese and Jaflet just mentioned. And finally, we have the learning materials of the week. Everything starts with learning, don't forget. So, Somalese, would you like to go through?
Yeah, that's wonderful, Aisha. So just like Aisha has mentioned, everything starts with learning. We have these learning materials of the first week, which is this week that we're on the landing page itself as well for the 30 days of MS Graph. So you will see that we have the entire schedule for the entire week, where you can see November 1st, we're actually here right in front of you doing this specific session and giving out this wonderful information to you guys so that you can be able to sign up for this specific challenge. And then obviously on the 2nd of November, you can be able to start working on the Microsoft Graph Challenge, in which that is the Cloud Skills Challenge. And also on top of that, there are resources for you to watch. For an example, there are videos there that you can watch around what Microsoft Graph Fundamentals for Beginners looks like. If you're already a professional, that's a great thing. But if you're a beginner and you don't know where to start, these learning materials are a great place for you to start. Obviously, I'll let you guys to actually go to the landing page itself to see all of the learning materials of the week. I am not going to do the entire job for you because I want you guys to actually start learning on your own and start familiarizing yourself with MS Graph and what it's about. And then that's when we're actually going to see your project ideas. Right. Enough about the project overview. We've been talking about what Microsoft Graph, Microsoft Giraffe, and all of those things. But what exactly is Microsoft Graph? Aisha?
Yes. So we have a special guest today to introduce us what is Graph, what we can build with Graph. And obviously I will be talking with her as well. Let's just jump into get started with Microsoft Graph. We will be saying Graph all the time, probably in the past 30 days to introduce you this challenge. But now we have Rabeb to introduce us what is Microsoft Graph. Before we jump into the Graph, we actually want to get to know Microsoft Graph product PM, so that we will get to know her a little bit. I'm so happy that I'm not the only dinosaur alumni of the Student Ambassador Program. She was actually in the program way before I was. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. Yes, in fact, I am so old. I was in the program because it's called Ambassadors. At my time, we used it to call it MSP, Microsoft Student Partners.
I know.
Hello, everyone. I was keeping an eye on the chat. It's so lovely to see. We have people from all over the world, so that's really lovely. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for having me, Aisha, and the team. I know how hard you worked on this program, and it shows. Please go and check all the materials they have. They're just so lovely and so many resources, and they also look nice. So well done to the team on that. I am Rabeb, and I am a PM on the Microsoft Graph team, more specifically the developer experience team. So I take care of a couple of tools that we have to make the life of developers, new and experts easy, and hopefully help you all to embark into your adventures with Microsoft Graph. I am based in Bristol, the United Kingdom. It's been home for a couple of years now, but I am originally from Tunisia, North Africa. That's where I did my entire student life. That's where I was a Microsoft student partner. I did the Imagine Cup. I think it was in 2010. Again, it's so in the past, I can't even remember the exact year. So I know we have a lot of students, new grads, or people working with students. I've seen teachers, and it's always like students have a special place in my heart. So it's always great to be working on programs focusing on students. What else about me? Hobbies, I'm a runner, I'm very slow. So please, if you have any tips for me, let me know how I can be a little bit fast. I will be with you for the challenge over these 30 days. So if you have any questions along my team, on GitHub discussions or on Twitter, please feel free, and we all will try to help as much as we can. And again, we are so excited to have you building some amazing things. I'm sure you will just surprise us. We're like, why didn't we think about that?
Yeah, this is so cool. Rabib, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. It's really inspiring to see you came a long way from student partner time to here being the senior product manager, and now you're going to introduce us Microsoft Graph. It is so amazing that the Imagine Cup program was around for more than 10 years, like probably 20 years, and it gave us the same opportunity that the students in this age are having the same opportunity still. Okay, so let's get it started with the graph. Would you like to introduce us what is graph?
Right, Microsoft Graph. That is a good question. I will not read that like very complicated paragraph for me, but here's the thing. For organizations that are using the Microsoft 365, we refer to M365, there is a wealth of data. There is so much data in there. And think of Microsoft Graph as the gateway, a unified API to be able to explore all that data and to build apps focusing on productivity, obviously secure apps, and then again taking a lot of the troubles, like with identity, for example, authentication, because you don't want anyone just to get access to data. You need to do that in a secure way, etc. So that's really what Microsoft Graph is. We have a set of tools to make use of that available data. If we go to the next slide, Aisha, that's probably, we can talk more of like a real life scenarios. For example, for me, my organization is Microsoft. I work with these lovely, wonderful people. So like there is a set of users. We are not on the same time zones. We are not geographically in the same place. We are not even like in the same team. We still have like different organizations. But because of Microsoft Graph, I have all these links. So I can go and I can see Aisha, like maybe which times she is available, like when does she work compared to my time zone, if I want to organize a meeting with Aisha. And that's all available to me because of Microsoft Graph. And it's not just within Microsoft. Think education. For a university, for example, you have like all the teachers, all the students, they are allocated to different classrooms. Over the last 2 years, we've seen all of us, we just had to do what we need to do from home, online, whether that is studying or even working. Like my sister is a university student, and they are still, until now, they do a hybrid mode where she goes 2 days to university, but most of the time she's just studying online. So think assignments. How can you get to your assignments? How can it like even like teaching? We had to use video conferencing. So all of these things via Microsoft Graph, we have the ability to build apps that would help us with some of these scenarios. Imagine maybe even just like sending a like building an app that sends a notification to the list of parents you have within a school to say, okay, it's time to come get your kid, or today there is like rain and we're gonna send them early, because you don't want to send kids out in the street like that. Or even like for assignments, when I was a student, I would do my assignments the night before. So it's really nice to have somewhere, even on Teams, maybe build an integration on Teams to have like, what are my assignments? What did the teacher say? And this is all possible with, the Microsoft Graph API.
Yeah, and I think digital workplace and digital learning is not going away. When we started doing all of our work hybrid, as well as the education, everything is hybrid. It would be really nice to have some automation, some apps to remind us, for example, the tasks, upcoming tasks or assignments, as you said, Rabeb. At the same time, you can do your own custom collaboration and productivity app if you are interested. Imagine Microsoft Teams as a platform. It has all the functionalities for chat, video calls, but there's also APIs available. You can bring your chat messages, video calls into your own web app or into your mobile app, or you can actually send a recording of the meeting to all rest of the participants. Maybe they're in different time zone, it's not convenient for them, just to remind them that this meeting happened and this is the recording. Obviously, we don't want you to do all these processes manually, and there are some cases you can't do this manually. For example, class assignments for schools. Let's say they're using teams and each team is a class, and there are obviously thousands of students at school. You can't just go manually and assign them one by one. You need an API to do that. You need to call an API which does that for you, so that you don't have to assign thousands of students one by one to each and every class, which you will make mistakes for sure because you're dealing with a lot of data. So Graph is actually the data, and you are free to do anything with it. It's the data of collaboration, communication, productivity in Microsoft 365. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rabab, but there are hundreds of different data sets, not just like Outlook, Teams, but there are other things available as well. It's a really huge platform at the end of the day.
Yes, it's massive. It's massive. And one of the things like that keeps us on our feet all the time, one of the challenges is the fact that Microsoft Graph is massive. It keeps growing. And we need, to make sure that we are offering the best of experiences because of all the different APIs. As you said, you have, Outlook, and then you have Teams, you have security stuff, you have, users. It's just literally everything you have on the M365 Office, OneDrive. I can keep just like naming all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. And when it comes to data, I know that these days the data science, business analytics, data analytics, they're all really popular and getting more and more popular, creating dashboards with the data. I think for the productivity purposes, Graph plays a huge role when it comes to understanding the employee behavior, understanding the student or teacher behavior, maybe treating them better by just understanding the data of their workplace. And it's easier these days because we don't go to the office much. We work hybrid, so we have all of our data across Microsoft 365 environment. So we can understand each other more in terms of the files you work with, your availability, your time zone. We have all this information. Okay, so I feel like we talked about the graph concept so much, and even I've been talking about the graph concept since before we joined this challenge. Rebe, where is the best place to get started? Like, I want to show everyone participating in this challenge that this is Graph. This is what you can get out of it. Can you please walk us through how to get started?
Yeah, of course. And totally not biased. I'm not going to show you my own product. So I think a great place to start from is Graph Explorer. And if I am successful at sharing my screen, actually, let's see. Yes, I think I'm sharing the right thing. Please let me know when you can see my screen.
It's slow. Yeah, we can see it. It's
awesome.
I can see the Graph Explorer.
Yeah. So if you go to Graph Explorer, basically Graph Explorer is a developer tool, and don't let the word developer intimidate you. Again, when we say developer, it's, we think about everybody. You don't have to know beginner, advanced, so don't let that word intimidate you. So it is a tool for you to start with Microsoft Graph, learn about Microsoft Graph, and do some, testing scenarios with Microsoft Graph. The first thing I'm gonna mention here is I would highly recommend that you get a developer account because the last thing that we want you to do is to be, testing and manipulating real data from your organization and for the purposes of just like learning and maybe delete something that you shouldn't be deleting or, creating new, don't know, maybe users or like channels within Microsoft Teams. So if you go to the developer program, you can get I think it's a 90 days developer account with its sandbox with fake data. You'll have like users, files, etc. So that is really great for testing, and that's literally what I'm using here. If you can see, it's like my tenant is this TRT35. So this is, I can play with this without worrying about anything serious to happen because it's just like my testing sandbox. So that's the first thing I would highly recommend that you do. Once you are on Graph Explorer here, a couple of things to make it easy for you to get started. We have a bunch of the APIs that are available with Graph. These are like, I would say maybe the most used, the easy, an easy introduction to Microsoft Graph. So you could see how it looks like, what you're getting. So we have a bunch of examples here, these sample queries. Let's say I simply go to my profile, which would show me, here is the call that I would need to get the signed in user profile. And if I run this query, I will be able to see the response. So I know that within this endpoint, I can get the name, the job title, the email of the person, different kinds of information. And this is really what you need, because if you're building an app, maybe you are building a UI where you're going to be building a profile, a user profile. So you will need a name or an email. Or if you are going to send, let's say you want the exact emails for your student, like again, I'm saying just examples, or like a parent of a student, you want to access this information to see what you want to do afterwards. To see the full list, so this is only some examples, but if you are interested to see everything that is available on Graph, you can go here on resources. For the Microsoft Graph API, we do have a V1 version and a beta version. So here you can switch to see which one you need the most. If you're if you're learning and getting started, the chances are you're just gonna go with V1, and literally there is everything. So if let's say, if I go with education and see what's available for education, this will show me that on Microsoft Graph, I can access
school, you can literally get everything.
Yeah. Or I can also, as a user, what's available to me, what are the assignments, etc. So this is all what you can see on resources.
And how about like if I want to get the calendar events, like can we get data from the calendar events, for example?
I'm sure we can if I am being lazy and see calendar. Yes, so again, this is showing me what's on my calendar, all the events, or maybe the events for next week. And then would that work? Let's see. Yes. So that is working, but I don't have anything for my calendar next week. Again, this is just like a sandbox. Let's see.
Yeah.
Not next week. No, I still don't have any items in here.
But this is literally gathering all the events for next week in your calendar, or
yes.
for example, I see here like find meeting time. You can do a post request to the Graph API to get available times in the calendar, or schedule a meeting. You can just post request to the API. There are things we can do with Teams as well, right? In the sample queries, like in general in Microsoft Graph.
Yes.
There are a lot of things we can do with Teams as well.
Yes, we can create a team, and after that create like a channel. You can see like the teams
Joint
for the
teams.
user, which are my joint teams, and then like the members of a team or the channels within that team. Literally, we have loads of things that we can access from Microsoft Graph to if you are interested in working with teams. So we do have quite a few endpoints there.
And what I want to highlight here is that every time when web app clicks on a sample query or an API in the resources, you see in the query box that graph.microsoft.com stays still. Only the end of the query changes, like me/calendars, me/teams, me/mail. And you just see that the graph endpoint is exactly the same. By changing the query, you are getting different data sets. So that's why we are saying a single API, and you can reach out to hundreds of different data sets. Let's say that I'm happy with getting the profile information. I want to put my profile name and the picture on my website. Like, how can I get started?
So there are, and remember when I said that Microsoft Graph comes with a set of tools to make things easier. So we know that sometimes some developers might choose to build their own apps from scratch. So one way to do that, for example, we have SDKs. So you don't have to go through the trouble of calling the API on your own. You can simply use one of the SDKs in your preferred language. So here, for example, you can see if I make this a little bigger. So for each of the queries, if you go check code snippets, it will give you the exact code that you would need within your app in different languages. So that's one way to do it. Literally, simply just you can copy here, or Control C in here and add the code in your app. Or maybe you are building, an application that has a UI element to it. And again, why going through the trouble of building your UI from the scratch? We do have some components that are already available for you, and you can simply use them immediately. So there are a variety of ways to do the same thing depending on the flavor that you want. And here we try to give you all the options available to do so. So it's taking some time to getting an adaptive card.
I want to also highlight that the first learning assignment for you for this week is also covering Graph Explorer. So you will have time to explore on the Graph Explorer in the learning material. So don't worry that if it is in rush, you will have the full material to complete. The first learn module is all about introduction and going through the understanding the Graph Explorer and playing around with the APIs.
Yeah, and please feel free to drop me your questions anytime. Sometimes when you're like, I'm so used to Graph Explorer, so I'm just some things that I might be taking just for granted because I'm so used to them. So it's nice from time to time to get input and feedback from people. We call it like fresh eyes. So if you have any questions or even like some feedback, something that doesn't make sense, make sure to communicate that with me.
Okay. I think that was sort of a wrap with the Graphic Explorer. Do you want to add anything else, Rabib?
No, just play with the tool, have fun. It's a learning experience and this is a learning tool. So just like, try to find your ways around it. There is documentation available. So if you're not sure the right endpoint you need, go check the documentation and then bring things here, run the your endpoints and see, do I have what I need? Is this like the response that I'm looking for? And just enjoy the challenge in general.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Thank you, Rabib, for spending time with us. That was amazing to see Graph Explorer in action. And I think that's a really great place to start. So everyone, go ahead and check out the landing page. You will see all the resources there. You will see the registration link, onboarding resources, GitHub discussions link. Everything is in the landing page. And the first week, you will be learning all about fundamentals. The first thing you are assigned is the understanding what graph is and playing around with the Graph Explorer. You will find this in the first learn module of the week. So don't worry about it. You will have time to learn by yourself as well. So let's bring back to Japlet and Samalese. We have, I think, some questions to answer. I think chat. We have some questions in the chat. Before we jump into the questions, I want to say that this is our first session. At the beginning of each week until the end of November, we will have sessions like this. Every Monday, we will have sessions to deep dive and understand more about Graph. We will have hands-on demos, live coding sessions, and also in the last 3 weeks, we will have office hours to answer your questions in general. Just keep track of all the sessions. Make sure to join all of them or catch up with the recordings. We want you to make sure that you have all the sessions, you're aware of all the sessions, and the session links are also available in the landing page. So make sure that you visit aka.ms/30 days of MS Graph. Okay, so let's answer some questions.
Yep, thank you very much, Aisha and Rabib. And yes, again, if you also use the hashtag, it will be easy for us to get to see all of the amazing stuff you are working on social media. So we have some questions. Thank you so much, for responding to some of them in the chat. So I will just respond to some, and then first question is from Konstantinos. I hope I got that pronunciation correct. Forgive me if I didn't. Would there be a free voucher at the end for anyone who completes the challenge? Interesting fact is Microsoft has free fundamental exam vouchers for all students across the world. So if you're a student and you're participating in this challenge, you have access to write Microsoft fundamental exams, all 8 of them for free. You don't have to pay for it. But we won't be giving out vouchers at the end of this challenge. And side tip, you can attend Microsoft Ignite sessions and all other sessions that Microsoft would be bringing on board, where you could also win free exam vouchers. The next question, and I think I'll pass this over to Sumilizi, is from Juno. And he says, I'm no longer a student. Is this course something I should still go through, or should I just work on Microsoft Net modules? Sumilizi, what do you think?
Well, I think even Hussam actually answered the question on the chat. But again, for this 30 days of MS Graph Challenge, you don't have to necessarily just drop it off if you are no longer a student. This is still open to you so that you can be able to be part of this Microsoft 30 Days of Microsoft Graph Challenge and be able to learn from everyone else and do the Cloud Skills Challenge, because there's a lot of information that is within those Learn modules that you can take in and be able to build your own things. And obviously, if you do have a GitHub account that's already open, you can utilize that. For an example, if you want to ask something on the GitHub discussions and you want to submit your project idea. And again, for the Microsoft 365 developer account, you don't necessarily need to be a student to sign up for it. So just make sure you sign up for that. And I think you should be good to go when you are building your projects using MS Graph.
I can add one more thing to this one. This challenge we mentioned about students, but the learning is not only for students. Obviously, we continue learning, all of us. If you are a career switcher, if you're a developer who likes to learn something different than what you already know, this challenge is also for you. Even if you're an experienced developer, I think this challenge is for you to understand what we are doing in the Microsoft ecosystem, and also get in touch with us, share your feedback, and maybe win the challenge as well. To win the challenge, definitely you don't have to be a student. Also, to get in touch with us, to go through the entire landing page, learning materials, submit your project, you don't have to be a student. Definitely this curriculum is for everyone, and we encourage everyone to participate and engage with us interactively, so we will get to know you a little better.
Great. Thanks, Aisha, for responding to that too. So the next question is from Caitlin, and it is, can we use regular GitHub versus developer pack? So just to highlight, the developer pack we talked about is for students. So the GitHub student developer pack. So if you're a student, it's interesting and it's best to go through the student developer pack because there are also some amazing resources that you would have access to. But if you're not a student, then please be sure to use GitHub, the regular GitHub, no difference. You would have the same exact experience as students who will be using the student developer pack. So I think those are the questions I have. And again, yes, it's for everybody. Everybody, wherever you are based, whatever continent, whatever country, be sure to join us for the 30 days of Microsoft Graph. Don't forget the key things we've talked about. Don't forget to register. Don't forget to keep your eyes glued to the landing page at all times. Don't forget to do introduction, the GitHub discussion, and don't forget to enjoy 30 days of MS Graph. Any last thoughts from any of the amazing people on the call, Rabib, Aisha, Sunilizi?
I just want to add that if you get stuck in any part during the registration, during the prerequisites, or when you're doing the learning materials, that there's something you don't understand or there's some conflict that you can fix, drop it in the GitHub discussions. There are literally like more than 20 people waiting your questions to be answered. They're all there to handle your questions. Just don't hesitate to reach out to us through the GitHub discussions when you face a challenge. We are here to help you throughout the month of November, maybe after November as well.
Okay, so Bilizi, final thoughts on you, Rabib?
Well, on my end, I just look forward to what everyone's going to be learning out of this. And also, just one thing, just like Jeffrey just reminded me, I need to go introduce myself on that GitHub discussions there. So hopefully, I will be seeing a lot of you guys introducing themselves there. And we embark on this specific, wonderful journey. So, Rabib, do you have anything to add?
Well, happy learning to everyone, and yeah, I really can't wait to see what you're gonna build and you're gonna learn. Just enjoy the challenge. We're gonna be around, so don't be afraid of asking questions or anything, and just enjoy the challenge. This is as much a learning experience to us as it is for you. So thank you very much for the opportunity for us as well.
Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks to all of the amazing volunteers helping out, both in the chat. See you all next Tuesday, actually, November 7th.
Next Monday, actually.
Oh, okay.
Next
Monday, November 7th, during our next session. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.